I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be.
Welcome to the show, your one-on-one with Wes the Sports Guy here on YouTube, BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey, and online all the time at westhesportsguy.com. Bookmark that site if you wanted to get my World Series preview, the weekly reviews in the NFL, all of my social media links, podcast link. It is all conveniently located for you at westhesportsguy.com. Before I get into today's video, just a quick reminder, click the link in the description below if you want to save some money on Coffee Brand Coffee at coffeebrandcoffee.com. Click on the link in the description below. You can get yourself a nice roast of French toast. It smells exactly like French toast at coffeebrandcoffee.com. Lots of other variety flavors that are going to be available for a limited time, but also their normal roasts, light, medium, and dark. If you're not a coffee person, at coffeebrandcoffee.com, there are teas and cocos, merchandise as well. All of it is conveniently located for you at that website, coffeebrandcoffee.com. But if you want to save some money, click the link in the description below of this video and all future videos, as your favorite sports guy, is a brand ambassador for coffeebrandcoffee.com. So as you can tell from the title of this video, I'm going to be talking just about Elon Musk taking over Twitter. He has freed the bird, and it is an amazing time on Twitter, to say the least. If you're not on Twitter, I get it. More than 80% of the Twitter accounts are not even based in the United States of America, but even if you do have a Twitter account, if you sparsely use it, or if you're not in the United States, it is a glorious time to see the gnashing of teeth and the reeing of those in the not too far distance that are absolutely opposed to this in every way possible. Suddenly making a company go private when they were defending the rights of private companies when it came to firing people for reasons that I won't get into, but use your imagination for the things that have been happening the last 2.5 years now. Hey, now it's going to be private with Elon Musk, and suddenly there's a problem with it. I find it rich. Just rich. Don't you? Leave a comment below if that's what you believe. And if you've been enjoying just the outside looking in from a helicopter point of view, maybe a fly on the wall. Who wouldn't want to be a fly on the wall now with the conversations happening in that building? But I just want to stress in this video, this is definitely a good thing going forward. I still will hold Elon Musk to his word with everything he had said back when he first initially made the offer back in April, and all the talking going on forward until it became, hey, he didn't like the fact that he wasn't getting the information that he was asking for when it came to the bots. And then there was a lawsuit going back and forth, but we finally got to this point where a deal was finally made between Elon Musk getting Twitter at the original asking price of $54.20 per share. So as I get into this, Twitter has been a sore in my side for a good while. Yes, I am a sports guy. Yes, I'm following a lot of sports accounts. If you follow me on Twitter, I greatly appreciate that. If you want to find my Twitter account, go to the social media links at westhesportsguy.com. I don't always talk about sports anymore. Not anymore. The reason why is because I am an absolutist when it comes to free speech and your rights that are endowed by your creator and from the Constitution of this country, the United States of America. That is simple, straightforward, to the point. That is what I abide by. That is the law of the land. That is the way I proceed with my life, the way I understand the way things were written. That is as simple as it can get. Going forward, though, Twitter has definitely not acted in good faith for a long time now when it came to your rights to speak freely. Yes, we could use that argument about it being a private company and so forth, but when there is a monopoly that has been happening now for well over 5 years, pretty close to a decade now. There's been a huge monopoly when it comes to social media sites. We saw this happening with Parler a year ago. What happened to Parler? They became competition for Twitter, and Parler was basically destroyed. Yes, it's still around, but it's not what it was becoming. It was competition for Twitter, and thanks to, in my opinion, collusion with others in big tech, Silicon Valley, Parler was no more and wasn't what it was anymore, and probably never will be after what happened with them last year. So as we saw that happening with Parler, it became crystal clear the monopoly has become entrenched. This is the town square. This is not anymore the days of you can go to City Hall, you can muster up some support, peacefully protesting, airing your grievances in a peaceful manner. That's a very well-endowed right in this country since its inception. That is not the way we access our free speech rights anymore. It is online for a lot of people. And this is what the town square is. It's Facebook, it's Twitter, it's Apple, it's Google, it's Amazon, it's all that stuff. It's all of it. All of that stuff, including new tech, different sites, BitChute, Odyssey, Rumble. Thank you again for subscribing at those channels. You can find my links at westthesportsguy.com. I'm all over the place. It's not ideal. Is that something I wanted to do when I started to do this thing? Not necessarily, but it matters. I want you to be informed. I want you to be entertained to a degree as well. I appreciate it if you are, but I want you to be informed. I want you to have access to as much information as possible that you choose to consume. That's the beauty of this. You, the individual, you have the right to choose what you consume and what you don't consume. And that's where this has been the biggest stick in my craw with Twitter. They're restricting information. The laptop from hell from a certain son of a certain sitting president was suppressed before an election in late 2020, suppressing the account of the New York Post because you and your acolytes deemed it to not be true based off of no evidence whatsoever. Just because you didn't like the information, you didn't want people to find out about it. Turns out that was true from the very beginning. That was a huge sticking point for a lot of folks, and myself included. So with all that information that we have at our disposal that we don't always get from Twitter specifically, but the fact that a huge site like that is suppressing information is downright frightening. This isn't the reason why Elon Musk bought Twitter. The main reason why he bought Twitter is because an account that he likes and that he has interacted with and has done podcasts with, the Babylon Bee, a Christian satire site, which is like, if you've heard of The Onion, the Babylon Bee is the opposite of that, what you would say, political spectrum when it comes to satire. They're both funny. They have different ways of making light of things and making satirical articles, but it's all satire. It's all in good fun. The Babylon Bee puts up this article, satire, of course, but there's some truth to it. Man of the Year. That's true. That man says he's a woman. He's not. He's a man. And they published that. And Twitter said, no, you must delete that post in order for you to have access to your account. They're not completely banned. The account is still active, or not active, but up on Twitter, I should say. You can still get it, follow their account. But because of that, you could make the case that Elon Musk said, you know what? I think he effed around too much. Now it's time to find out. It's time to find out. Elon's never publicly said this. He's probably never going to publicly admit it, but I would bet to say, based off of what I've seen and how this whole thing played out, because of that, that's why Elon said, screw it. I'm going to get Twitter now. I'm going to make them an offer they can't refuse. I'm going to go with the Godfather way of negotiations. And of course he did. $44 billion. Hey, do with $44 billion how you wish. I know a lot of other people would have a much different outlook with that kind of cash flow. But hey, I will hold Elon Musk to his word about everything he has said about free speech. It is an absolute. We must protect it at all costs. Has to protect it at all costs. He's saying all the things that need to be said as far as what he's going to do with the advertising. Yes, there are some things that are still probably going to stay in place that we don't like really with Twitter, but there's a few things that really could make all the difference in the world, besides bringing some folks back that were permabanned off of Twitter. I'm not going to go through all the names, but there's hundreds of them that definitely need to come back and be allowed to come back if they choose to. Enough of the shadow bans, enough of the suppression, enough of the feeling that your voice is not being heard equally with everybody else's. And if there are terms of the service that are being violated, the punishment needs to be distributed equally. Equally. That's the other key. You are punishing people, not saying Elon's doing this, but the previous leadership at Twitter was punishing folks equally, accounts equally. It was not an even flow. Those things, just small little baby steps, will go a long way in helping this become a more free and hopefully diverse opinion of thought, and civil to a degree as well. I know things have been a cesspool for many years on Twitter. It's hard to avoid it. But I believe that once you have enough access to the information that you want to get and are allowed to see for yourself, things kind of tend to balance themselves out in the long run. It might not be seen immediately, but this is something that needs to be protected at all costs. And hey, I never would have thought I'd be retweeting Rob Schneider of all people, but this tweet perfectly encapsulates the entire thought about free speech, that it is free speech is all speech. It's not just the speech you like, it's also the kind of speech that you loathe. That is the crux of free speech right there. So going forward, my hopes with this purchase being final and official with Elon Musk is that things can only go up from here. I don't think they can get any worse than they already were. And the fact that corporate media and their acolytes are so upset about this happening and that it finally went through should tell you all you need to know about why this is definitely a good thing going forward. Because if they don't like it, it's probably a good thing. And that's usually the case for most things, not just with Elon getting Twitter. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe and hit that bell below to get notified when all the latest videos are posted on this channel, whether it be at YouTube, BitChute, Rumble, or Odyssey. Make sure you click that link in the description of this video to save some money on Coffee Brand Coffee at coffeebrandcoffee.com. Click the link in the description below of this video. Bookmark westthesportsguy.com for all the social media links, the podcast link. All of it is there conveniently located for you at westthesportsguy.com. I will see you next time.